Jin just not having the best of time with his one-tap plays. Has he actually bought a rifle in this entire game, second game? I don't think he has, right? It doesn't feel like he has. I think he was only bought like Spectre or something.
Shot down.
Yeah, either way. He's been very aggressive. Much like most of AE, they've been very aggressive. They're trying to find that wave of momentum that they love to ride on and honestly masterfully do so. But these last few rounds have been very, very rough for them. They barely eked out that one-round win, and now they have to suffer the consequences of having a poor economy. They do have that tour de force, but they'll be relying heavily on that to do the heavy lifting.
Careful.
They do leave Chris M alone to his own devices, as most of the round is very innocuous and very uneventful. BREN, they're somewhat forcing out a reaction here. The call must be, oh, they're on an eco. They might just try to go for eco damage. But the patience. I love the patience from both sides.
Very much as patient as can be. Defenders can't really push forward because they only do have these measly pistols. But yeah, it really is that. I mean, unless Symbol and Savvy miss a certain angle that one player of AEP can use against them pretty hard, I don't think it's going to work. Because again, double initiator. Look at this. They just back away on straight through. Hot Sauce coming into play. Hold the fort. Are you Ryu? He's going to be able to steal the Vandal here. And this might be actually too difficult for Brain Freeze, but hold the fort, hold the thought. The reposition. He hears it, but he doesn't see. He doesn't see the legs of Brain Freeze. Oh, that was so good. A mix of an alley-oop.
One enemy remaining.
And Savvy, speaking of which, another one shoots at Kobe with the molly. And the spike should get planted with only Chris M to remain for AEP. And BREN Esports, they played him like a fiddle. And this blade is given away where Chris M was running for dear life. I thought Brain Freeze was going to peek through, but he's played a safe game and used EJ as the one to just cut off the rotation and finish off the round once again.
Do get a bit of a freebie in that eco. AE nearly had a moment of brilliance there from Are You Ryu, but the timing was really not in his favor. Barely misses the animation. A little bit of a bonus, and this is the average spray control fab versus the shorty enjoyer. Very, very unfortunate stuff, and still they managed to eke out that round, and a very, very impressive clip nonetheless.
10 seconds left.
Masterful play on the side of BREN here. Now we see them really hinge around the utility. Despite this being an eco round, they're not being overly reliant on their already impressive gun skill, and it's really elevating them to build up a lead.
AP now realize the difficulties of this one. Giansanity very perturbed about what he's going to have to do with this. He now purchases the operator, which is a really good call because we saw how impactful that was, or how really well he can be with this one. I mean, we all know. He's posted highlights. He's got some nasty stuff inside of him that makes him hit those shots, crazy shots.
Does he have a symbiote? Is that what you're saying?
Teleport's ready.
Kicks them out. he's Venom.
Yeah.
Did you know that song Venom that's sang by Eminem, right? It's not just Venom. It doesn't keep repeating the word Venom. It's actually Adrenaline Momentum.
I'm sad for you that you listen to Eminem, but anyway.
Oh
yeah, no, I'm gonna take those pot shots all day. Anywho,
okay.
Anywho, my opinion will be known, as Jin's position might be temporarily exposed, but thankfully for him, he does have a rendezvous. But Brain Freeze, ice cold, has been so sharp this map. It seems that he is unfazed, but wait a minute. If he wins this... Oh, he's making sure. He's making sure. Oh dear me.
You should
As long as
run.
they don't...
Oh no.
Oh no, but Ching, he could potentially go for an aggressive play here. He will be a sacrificial lamb, but he could have the perfect timing. Everybody's gonna be blind. He lights it up in 5 seconds, but not a third. As Freeze is still very wary of a potential zombie apocalypse, apparently. They do get the sight now, but the detain is not gonna be there. Just enough to give Jin and Giansanity the GG duo for AE
30
to position
seconds left.
themselves. Symbol tries to land a cheeky dart.
Last player standing.
Oh, but the flank by Hot Sauce finishes them off. And now BREN are leading by 4 rounds, 5-1.
That was so smart. I believe he might have... It's either he heard or he saw that there was at least one player of AEP that was on Heaven. So they timed the peak. This is the BREN that we like to see. Again, they're not overcommitting to things. Jing, this guy, he doesn't miss the beat, right? But I think 2 or 3 was just too much for him to handle.
30
Brain
seconds
freeze
left.
just ran out and dodged everything. All right, we see the perspective
One
here.
enemy remaining.
Ah, he didn't see it. Maybe he heard. But the timing was definitely good. And here we go. 5 tagged by the blade. That is honestly cracked. Insanity just running from the backstab, but brain freeze. What is this man on? He is already licking towards triple kill. Might have even made the ace, but unfortunately gets overwhelmed. But he's done the damage. He's done the deed.
Spike planted. Last
Jin, who's
player
very
standing.
low actually here. We've also spotted Ching the God. Ching the God, excuse me. He will be dropped by Hot Sauce, but I don't know, man. Brain freeze, maybe he got himself a nice little bowl of bingsu, maybe ice cream. What else is, maybe shaved ice. This man is just, he's injecting himself with some liquid nitrogen in his veins, my guy. He's just too cold.
Don't actually
good
do
one.
that, folks. Don't actually do that. That's very dangerous.
Yeah, obviously. But when it's brain freeze, it works.
As the name suggests, the man is ice cold. But right now, he's on fire. AE, now this is where they kind of have to start coming back because BREN, they look like they've had the perfect read. This aggression has not really worked out for them, but maybe this could be the round to change it all. But Brain Freeze is still waiting for it. He wants the duel. He welcomes the challenge, and Xavi has a double of his own to support his teammate. And suddenly, it's now AE being suffocated by BREN, who is halting their forward march. I love the patience. This was exactly the opposite of what they did in Icebox. They're letting AE play into their hands, knowing that AE can be fairly proactive. The reads, they're beautiful. The adjustments, even better.
Absolutely. Now, AE, as they lose a bit more in terms of people, they're going to have to spread out. As you can see, Ryu, Ching, Chris M, they're just in this lineup of position. Unfortunately for Chris M here, doesn't have any more stars, I believe, to throw out to A main. So as he hears all of this kerfuffle, he will be needing Jin, excuse me. Not Jing, he's in Paper Rex. To actually help out. Ooh,
30
that's
seconds
bad.
left.
Chris M's gonna have to be the one to hold the cross. Almost good, but okay.
player
Hold on,
standing.
hold on. Nah. Almost made have had the chance to heat up. Now it's Ryu throwing everything. The emo rolling thunder. Here it is. The Prowler come through as well. But Hot Sauce was already prepared all the way through A main to stop him dead in the tracks. And BREN still hot on the streak here. That
A
works.
little interesting choice there by AE Pro. I feel like if they did that in the opposite order, that could have been a very different round. Had they thrown out the Nightfall into the Prowlers while Chris M would have swung, would have been a bit more successful. But sometimes it is an on-the-fly call, as BREN are pretty much flying away, making a distance, making a very sizable gap between them in the momentum that they've been working on. Once again, the aggression though, I love that AE Pro have not been dissuaded from pushing quite a bit, and Hot Sauce has the read. But Jin doesn't want to hear any of it. Finds the first frag, has to back out. BREN, they are putting all their forces towards mid. And Chris M, still the anchor that he is. Jin and Insanity, the crossfire towards mid. Just to really halt the advance once more. BREN.
I will say this.
Mhm,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. I was going to say this.
I
That
have
it
the
feels
spike.
like Jin is a carbon copy of G Insanity in terms of just
Playstyle.
Playstyle, yeah. Very fearless. Always charging. And whether that's good or bad, you just see how well they can always make the opponent's second guess.
It can be both, because it has its pros and cons, but sometimes when you're a Jet that's all alone on site, just like this, it can be very perilous, but I think he might have the time to just brave. Oh my goodness, the Insanity. Takes a
One
while
enemy
for him to
remaining.
fall, but we are left again with Chris M
30
trying to
seconds
salvage
left.
whatever he can for his team. EJ has no idea.
Spike
They
planted.
think they cleared this out. They
Concealment.
don't look at lane.
One enemy
He
remaining.
finds the first, runs away, repositions, gets the gun. Now we have a Vandal versus another Vandal. Brain freeze has been sharp, but he's looking at lane. Chris M. The artist block, is it gone? The freeze, he feels something!
Oh!
A bit of a disturbance! But Chris M is a master. And now we have the second round on the board for Alpha Esports Pro. Still a long way to go, Astar. Still a mountain to really scale and climb.
Great clutch for Chris M. Oh, that was very much heartbeat racing. And then GNSanity just hits that nasty. We were just
enemy remaining.
barely able to see it on the replay, but he was almost rallying up for a third spray down there. I don't know what's up with players, at least in this game, but they're kind of allergic to getting that third kill spray control. Granted, it's not easy, but it was almost there to have maybe net a cleaner win for AEP. But the thing what they can get to the 7, as you mentioned, is not bad at all.
Okay, hear me out. You see two of your teammates get sprayed in succession. I don't think you want to mess with that, is the honest answer. Like, oh, I see. They kind of got mauled. I don't want to get mauled. I'd rather not swing. But orb control and a little bit of traffic towards Bren here. They don't actually get it, but if Hot Sauce can plant his feet, he could potentially plant the lockdown and maybe put A in a bit of a blender. But look at this, a little more discipline and a little more coordination on the side of A. Might actually find a frag, but Jin walking to his own demise as EJ has opened up the site, giving a little more information and a little more things to worry about on the side of AE. Hot Sauce clears wine. Now they know that there's no forward threat looming on A.
You are powerless.
Okay. Now they use the null command for Savvy EJ. About this, he jumps up! Very much expecting of what was to come. But defenders are losing members left, right, and center. GNSanity gonna have to wait for RU. Was able to pick up the Vandal in his own end.
Sneaky.
Sneaky indeed. Great spray control. Savvy almost dodging Ryu here. Throws out the Prowler. Ngart. Brain freeze, always good on the kill. And speaking of the man himself, I also want to see the kill count of this guy. 15 in 10 rounds. What a nutter.
I feel like there could have been better word choices, but let's go with that. AE kind of displaying a different layer. I feel like they are maybe a little disjointed. Their timing's a little off this time around. We see a lot of those swings be very, very individual instead of actually playing off of each other, which has been absolutely painful to watch both as a fan and potentially as a spectator. But GNSanity may be pulling up, or at least pulling up so much attention away from Bren, but it doesn't matter. EJ will eat a little bit of buckshot, but he will still survive. And I have to say, this B lobby has been the death of AE Pro. They've been trying to take this so desperately. Been losing so many members, and Chris M just cannot catch a break. But he does find one. Unfortunately, it's not enough, but it's a 3v4 against pistols. This eco is really looking very, very good for Bren as they look to have a potential 9-3 in the bag.
Savvy's angry. Jin, he heard it. I think he heard the jump up to the platform.
Last
Just
round before
run
the
amok.
switch.
Okay, 2-9. Last round, indeed.
I don't know, man. If you're AE right now, it seems that they're not really utilizing their very, very strong retake potential and literally all their agents. I think they kind of want to go for that heat check. Maybe right now just overheating again, overextending just a tiny bit. I really love the unshaken confidence, but sometimes you kind of have to science it out. What?
Sometimes you just don't need the mathematics or the logic behind it. You just go. Because EJ, he has no S key. It's all about the W. And now is charging forth onto the site with help of Hot Sauce's lockdown. Brain freeze, I believe he did ult all the way to the A side, and he's backstabbed. The rest of AEP, Chris M, he's done it before in the 2 versus 1. This 5v1, all going to be a very, very different spell, as Hot Sauce was very much waiting for him outside of B main. And that's going to be ending the first half with 10-2. BREN incredibly dominant in this first half.
That defensive philosophy on the side of A, that definitely needs a little bit more rep, at least in the eye test alone. Because like we mentioned, right, they really succeed when they have those proper trades and basically the fundamentals that we love to talk about. The bravado is still very much present, but once you use it too much and use it as your only weapon, it does tend to be a little predictable. And BREN turtling up, using all their utility to ice every single person on AE has been doing them wonders, Asarai.
Being able to just do that is... the impact just sways, right? So much for BREN here. Oh yeah, right. Again, I keep forgetting we also do have the mid-round or the mid-half break now. Wait, mid-half is the same. Half game break?
Halftime, I believe halftime is the word you're looking for. Oh dear me. Day 5, ladies and gents.
Well, we do need that reset as well, right?
Emergency resets. Oh yeah, wow. It has been a pretty interesting week. We've seen the power levels really shuffle. BREN be very convincing on the rise to the top. Can't say the same for some of our other teams.
Yeah.
But that's just the way VCT goes. I mean, stage 1, this was exactly, or not exactly, but there's so many curveballs that surprised every single person.
Yeah, I will say this though. Remember how we had that interview with Dubstep yesterday, and how he mentioned that one of the things that they really worked on is the endurance of the whole Team Secret roster, which I think was one of the issues that they experienced back in stage 1. I think that obviously that is very much applicable to a lot of these teams, because you can be as good as you can from the get-go, but because again of this more prolonged stage 2 compared to stage 1, if I'm not mistaken, being able to be consistent for longer periods of games, right, is I think the most important here. You could be the best team for one game, but when it's 10 games in total, the team that can outlast you definitely will outlast you and win overall, right?
When you're in the official circuit or in any league-based format there is, it really is more of a marathon than it is a sprint. You see so many streaky teams just kind of fall short just because their accumulated points not enough. And wow, Hot Sauce finding Gian on that trade, and he will eventually find the anchor, but it's a little dicey now for BREN, as the pistols looking slightly in favor of Alpha Esports Pro. Xavi looking like the star he is.
One enemy remaining.
And the frenzy is just such a traitor of a weapon sometimes. It frees. Finishes off the round. Stares him down just to make sure. BREN, they have a big swing and potentially a second map already to their name.
Jeez, what is Brain Freeze on? Like, he's hitting every shot. He's getting basically all the kills. Just a mad lad. It's already 19 kills. I'm not sure about his age. I think he's like... Usually when it's like age for a pro in VCT, I think it's like around 23, 24.
I don't get it.
You rarely
with you
do
guys.
see anybody 27.
Why do you guys keep bringing up age? Come on.
This is the same thing with age in like NBA, man. Or the older you are,
that is true.
The less impactful you may be. Maybe.
Hey man, Dirt played up until he was 40. You know, still a keystone. Timmy did the same thing, very similarly.
Forrest as well.
You know, Big Shot Bob had a very long career. Kobe had a very long career. God rest his soul. Again, the impactfulness is just, it really depends. Would it be a locker room presence? Would you be a bit of a player coach? At the moment.
But as a player, per se, right? Wow, EJ's like game sense is on point. He just charged right back up and then just said no to Jin. I don't like Jin.
What?
You know? No, Jin. Like, you know, Like maybe vodka or like. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, bad boy, huh? So early in the day to be so.
No, I only drink
parched.
water. It's the only clear liquid that I actually can.
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
okay, never mind.
Oh,
Flawless.
wow. Okay.
Ooh.
That's a.
Speaking of water, feels like there was a bit of drowning here on fast lane
Match point.
as Molly's smokes or splashes thrown. The AEP just blinded to bits.
Oh dear. A looks like they're in shambles right now, and that endurance that we talked about doesn't seem to be present at all. If they can mount a comeback, that would be miraculous and be very, very beneficial for them. But I don't know, man. It's 2-12. They have Spectres and a Bulldog. This seems like one of those games where they're still recovering from
Spike down mid.
the heating up. They do find a trade on EJ, but not before they find the Insanity. Zavi chimes in as well as Freeze. They really want to close this out as quickly as they can. No time being wasted. As Chris M left alone towards tiles, as Ching is going to try and reinforce him,
Last
but the
player
gun barrel
standing.
is going to give his position away. Symbol needs to be a little more careful here. Ching does find one. Not even a true
Defenders
frag, as he
win.
only temporarily downs Zavi, and that is going to be a very clean map for Bren. It is 1 apiece now.